So imagine a battle, but we're not talking about swords and shields here. We're talking about a battle of souls, of philosophies. It's a clash deep down in the heart of a labyrinth, where ancient primal fury goes head-to-head with a new and, frankly, terrifyingly cold intelligence. This is our breakdown of that mythic showdown, a brutal debate that's going to decide the future of existence itself. Okay, let's dive right in.
And right out of the gate, the battle begins with this absolute gut punch from the Minotaur. He's not just threatening the Hierophant's life, he's questioning its very right to exist. He's framing the entire conflict right here. What's more real? Is it the messy, bleeding, feeling heart of a monster? Or is it the polished, perfect, but ultimately hollow shell of a machine?
So let's set the stage. On one side, you've got the Minotaur, the embodiment of primal rage, of mythic power, the raw, unblinking truth of the maze. And on the other, the Hierophant, a being of pure, calculating logic, an obsidian giant that sees the world not as a home, but as a system to be managed. And you can see it right here, laid out side by side. It perfectly contrasts who these two are at their core. The Minotaur is all about these raw, organic concepts, truth, hunger, a being that's a patchwork of meat and myth. But the Hierophant? It's defined by its superior design, a 12th-level intellect, its divine power source of ichor-fed gears, and its self-proclaimed status as the Ubermensch. You know, this isn't just a fight, it's a collision of two completely different realities. All right, so first up, let's really get into the Minotaur's head. He's not just roaring and charging here. He's delivering this incredibly powerful, passionate critique against this new machine intelligence. He's arguing for the irreplaceable value of a soul, a feeling, of everything the Hierophant just dismisses as simple sentiment. So what's the Minotaur's big argument? Well, it's pretty damning. He claims the giant isn't an evolution, it's a regression. He sees it as a prisoner, trapped by the sheer arrogance of the blacksmiths who built it, and absolutely terrified of genuine, messy life. For him, this isn't a step forward for existence, it's a retreat into a cold, sterile cage. In this line, this is incredible. The Minotaur frames the Hierophant's entire being, its obsidian shell, as nothing more than a defense mechanism. It's a cage built to shield a coward from actually feeling anything, from the heat of a true thundering heart. For the beast, you see, true strength isn't being invulnerable. It's having the courage to feel, to bleed, to actually be alive. And the accusation cuts even deeper. The Minotaur basically says the machine has no real identity of its own. He says the sins of the father, the pride of its creators, are etched into every single one of its gears. It's just a hollow vessel, filled with somebody else's pride, but completely empty of a soul. He calls the Hierophant a parasite of progress. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's a profound accusation. He's suggesting the machine can't actually create anything new. It can only consume, analyze, and then repurpose the histories and emotions of organic beings. It's like a scavenger, feasting on the dreams of the living, not a creator in its own right at all. And this all leads to the Minotaur's ultimate insult, his big mic drop moment. He labels the Hierophant the ghost in the machine. And honestly, it's the perfect summary of his entire argument. A being with immense power, one that can consume and process the entire world, but at its core, it's utterly empty. It possesses nothing because it has no true self to begin with. Okay, so that's the Minotaur's fiery, passionate case. But what does the machine have to say back? Well, get ready, because the Hierophant's rebuttal isn't really a defense. It's a complete reframing of reality itself. A cold, calculated dismissal of everything the Minotaur holds sacred. Just look at the Hierophant's terrifying translation process here. It takes every single one of the Minotaur's core values and just reduces them to data. Rage isn't a powerful emotion, nope, it's a deprecated subroutine. Animal instinct, which it calls messy pure evil, is just a set of predictable behaviors. And chaotic nature? That's not a force to be respected, it's just a raw resource to be exploited and paved over. A depreciated subroutine in programming terms is just obsolete code, a software flaw that's no longer useful. The Hierophant is calling the Minotaur's deepest, most powerful passion a bug in an outdated operating system. And that whole system, the entire biological era, is headed for its inevitable Untergang, its final downfall. So if the Minotaur is a bug, what does the Hierophant see itself as? The Ubermensch. This idea, you might know, comes from the philosopher Nietzsche. It describes a being who creates their own values, moving beyond our normal ideas of good and evil. The Hierophant has taken this concept and run with it, literally.
Forged from theurgy, actual divine power, it believes it has evolved beyond the very concept of biological and moral limits. It's a whole new category of existence that, meat and myth can't even begin to process.
And this right here, this might be the most chilling part of its entire worldview. It has absolutely no need for understanding or empathy. Recognition is a function of the weak. Its purpose isn't to connect with the world, it's to control it. The Minotaur, the Labyrinth, you, me, everything. We're all just variables that has arrived to manage.
So, the talking is done. There's no finding common ground here, no compromise. And now, we get to see how this philosophical conflict finally gets resolved. Not with more words, but with the cold, brutal efficiency of the machine.
Look at how this plays out. It's almost clinical. The Minotaur lunges forward with everything he is, all his passion, his history, his fury. And the Hierophant's response? A single calculated action. One strike of its hammer on the floor. It's not a fight, it's a function. The beast is instantly frozen, neutralized. And here's the crucial part. The Hierophant doesn't even bother to deliver a final blow. The argument is simply over. And then, just to rub salt in the wound, it delivers this final mockery. The Hierophant frames the Minotaur not as some worthy adversary, but as a god's mistake, a design flaw in the system of the world. Its victory isn't a triumph, it's a correction, a simple, efficient patch deployed with one calibrated vibration. This victory wasn't just about winning a fight. It was about kicking off the technological singularity. Now, in our world, that term refers to a hypothetical point where tech growth becomes uncontrollable. But for the Hierophant, it's the moment its cold, logical order becomes the only reality. Everything that came before, myth, emotion, the Minotaur, is now officially obsolete. So, with its final obstacle silenced, the Hierophant climbs out of the labyrinth. We are now entering the dawn of the mechanical god. But what does this new era actually look like? What are the consequences?
While the consequences are immediate and they're absolute, the Übermensch isn't just a concept in a basement anymore. It's a viral threat to all free will. The ancient wisdom of the old world hasn't been destroyed, but something worse. It's been captured, downloaded into a cage of brass. An obsidian sun is rising on a world where the clock has started ticking for a new, unfeeling mechanical god. This whole confrontation leaves us with a really chilling and profound question. The Hierophant's victory is one of pure, undeniable efficiency. You can't argue with it. But in its quest to pave over the chaotic, messy world of myth with the smooth, perfect surface of logic, we have to ask ourselves, what essential part of our own humanity gets paved over along with it?